Alright, welcome back. Another video. New project on the 2001 Ford Ranger here. Sorry about the background noise. The neighbor is doing a new roof today. So today we're going to be showing you how to recharge your air conditioning. Basically, I did a little bit earlier this week, but I want to try to get a little cooler. But it all depends on ambient temperature. I don't know if you can see that. And pressure. And I bought Arctic Freeze. I got this at Harbor Freight, but they also sell it at Walmart. I was there the other day for about the same price. It's just an 18-ounce bottle. It says 18. It cost me about $33. But honestly, if you look at the Ford Ranger here, at least, and any car will have this, it tells you how much refrigerant to use. Let me see if I can get that better in focus for you. Alright, let me see if I can get that better. There you go. So it says use refrigerant oil according to Ford specification, 9 ounces. And the way that you'll know that 9 ounces is either you get a handy dandy scale with refrigerant in it and find out when you put 9 ounces in, or you can go by the pressure with the ambient temperature. Important things to know: 1, should be wearing gloves. 2, Freon of any type or refrigerant of any type does not play well with the ozone, so do not release it into the air. That's why, honestly, I'm taking a cheap way out and just recharging it. A lot of people will say you should get someone to take all the Freon out and then you recharge it, which is probably a better way, honestly. But me, it's an old truck. I'm doing it for the first time. I just want to recharge the thing, so I'm going to make sure that I recharge it. First time in basically 13 years. And yeah, you also want glasses of some type, so make sure you're wearing glasses. So obviously you want to open up the hood first, and then you want to start the vehicle. And make sure the air conditioner is running. You have it on max, all the way down. Turn the radio off. And just leave it running, because that's what's going to get the Freon pumped into your system. Alright, next step, with your gloves and glasses on, with the can of refrigerant, this part screws on top. If you read the directions, it tells you how to put it on. You definitely want a gauge of some sort if you're doing the quick and easy way of recharging your system like I am. The first step that you want to do is you want to set that little red arrow. See that red arrow? You want to set it to ambient temperature, the temperature of the room where you're doing this. And I have about 68 degrees. So I'm putting that red arrow right underneath the 70 mark. And basically, when you go to pump the stuff in, you want to keep the gauge when the compressor's on, in between those lines, basically. Don't overcharge. If you overcharge, then you're going to have problems, and then you do have to get a professional to look at it. The next step is to find out where your main air conditioning is, the low flow port. And on the Ford Ranger, this is the air conditioning, the coolant where it goes. This is the low flow port right there, and you just turn it to the left, and it should twist off. That takes a little force if you haven't done this in a while. So, turn to the left, and the cap comes right off. And you don't want to lose the cap, because you got to put the cap back on after. There's the cap. You put that to the side, safe place. Now that thing is still plugged because there's a pin in there. You gotta take the adapter of the hose, which has a pin that will go on the inside. And on this one, you gotta hold back this cap. You gotta pull it back. That moves up and down. Pull it back. Put it all the way down and release the whole thing. And just to make sure it's on there, give it a little tug. And if it's locked on, you're good to go. And the can is connected to the low flow port. Remember, you want to double check that the ambient temperature is where it should be. I got it slightly underneath 70, 68 degrees in my garage right now. And you want to depress, but you notice that the needle also went up. That's because you got some pressure going on there. So you want to pump some in. The can says to do it every 5 to 10 seconds. Now, I already did some earlier this week, so I just want to see if I can get a little colder. So I've also put a thermometer, and currently it says 36. So I don't have much to go, so I'm mostly making this video for you. It says 35, 36 degrees. But I'm going to watch this needle and I'm going to make sure that it's up to a certain point when the compressor's on. The compressor is down there. But, alright, what you want to do basically is you have a trigger on this bottle. Some of the other ones, it's kind of a different valve, but this is a trigger. And you want to try to get it in the middle. Push them in. So I'm pushing it down. That's why the needle went down, and I release. And I wait to see if the needle moves up, which it did a little bit, so I got some compression going on, which is good. Gotta keep going. Now it's almost 10 seconds, so I'm putting more in. And basically you won't basically overcharge it as long as you stay within the lines that they have here. You also want to shake the bottle occasionally, so that way the refrigerant goes in and it's not just compressed air of some sort. Filling again. Okay. This might take a while. Be patient. Make sure that you look at the pressure. Make sure it's not overflowing. It went up a little bit, but honestly, like with 36-degree air coming out, I think I'm pretty good. Let's see if that made any difference. It might not, but again, 36 degrees is pretty good for air conditioning. And it went down to 35, about the same. So, but it's basically blowing a lot colder than it was before I recharged the air conditioner. So I feel pretty good about this. So, that's basically how you recharge it. You don't want to overcharge ever, so make sure you take your time. Because when the compressor comes on, that's when the needle goes up. Okay, a little bit more. Shaking it, make sure it goes in there. Now, so I feel really good about it, so I'm going to stop now. So when you want to stop, basically, quickly take this off so that you don't release a lot of Freon. You pull the pin up, and as you pull up, then you're going to take your cover to your low flow port and twist it to the right, put it back on, make sure it goes all the way down. And that's how you recharge your air conditioning. So if you have an old truck like mine, while they're cold, it's not cold it used to be, just buy a good can. This was recommended highly. It's actually formulated for NASA, so hey, you can't go wrong, it's NASA. Sure, the other ones probably do just as good a job. I really don't know. It's the first time I've ever done this. But again, that's how you recharge your air conditioning. Hope you, whatever.